My name is Sarah Endline. I'm the mastermind and chief writer, aka founder and CEO of SweetRiot. SweetRiot is building a sweet movement to fix the world through our all-natural, healthy dark chocolate treats. We're based in New York City. We sell our products nationwide. They feature artwork on every package, and we source in Latin America, and our products are delicious and good for you. My story is that I grew up in a very small farm town in Michigan. My grandparents were farmers, my parents were small business owners, and I really grew up with a strong sense of community in the small town, a sense of entrepreneurship from my family, and I was certainly very close to natural food right off of the farm. That was just something I always had access to growing up. So when I was in college, I started learning about Erotica at the Body Shop and Ben & Jerry's and these companies that had amazing, beautiful consumer products and a social mission at the same time. And I thought to myself, wow, you can be in business, you can be an entrepreneur, and you can do good for the world at the same time. And I really admired them. And I thought to myself, my whole career, my whole work life is going to be about this kind of business for social change idea. And so when I applied to grad school, they make you write these essays that talk about exactly what you're going to do with your life. And all I could talk about was entrepreneurship and how I was going to create a company that was going to help change the world in some way. And it took a couple of years to unfold. A few years after grad school, I was ready to write that business plan, and I just was very fascinated with the candy world. I thought the candy world needs change. There's a whole natural organic food movement going on, and the candy world seems to kind of be in the same old world. And so I wanted to kind of create a riot within that industry and create new products that really were healthy and delicious. And the idea of the SweetRiot came from really walking down the streets of New York with my college friend who grew up in Detroit, which is a city of riots, and I said to him, I need a name that's emotional, that's sweet but emotional. And he turned to me and said, what about SweetRiot? And it was perfect because we're really about, protesting with sweetness and creating change and impacting the world, and doing it as a celebration. It's not a violent riot, it's a celebratory riot. One of the smart girl's strengths that drives my business is creativity. And sometimes people think creativity means you're an artist, you're a painter, you're a musician, but I'm really talking about working very quickly on your feet and constantly solving problems. So when you're an entrepreneur, you're building something from scratch. There are no structures, there are no systems, there's no team, there's no products, there's no services. You're creating all of it. And so creativity is so essential. It's not just about design, it's about tackling all those problems and challenges you have in front of you and always looking for kind of the next step forward. One of the things I say to my team, never get stuck in the mud. We're always going to move forward. If there's a problem, we're going to solve it. We're going to address it, we're going to solve it. And I think that takes a lot of creativity. The advice I would give an entrepreneur is to be careful with all the advice they receive. One of the things I realized when I started my business is every time I talked to someone different, they had a different piece of advice. And even when I would interview lawyers, they all had different perspectives. And I finally realized it was really my job to take all the perspectives, distill them, and decide what was right, and to really use my instinct to make the right decisions. And I think what I've learned over time is when I'm talking to other entrepreneurs, I really try to share my experience. I don't want to tell them what to do. I can only share my experience because it's from my frame of business, my industry, my stage of company, and it may not be completely applicable to you. So take that advice and distill it, but distill it and do what's best for you. Wow, what's next? I mean, when you're in the middle of it, you're just trying to think of how can I grow my organization, larger, and really how can I take SweetRiot to, the global level. One of the really exciting things we're doing right now is launching a new chocolate bar line, so 3 new flavors coming out in the East Coast to Whole Foods just in a couple months, so we're really excited about that. And just growing our talent and investing more in sales and marketing, and just taking SweetRiot, from this national presence that we have, slowly taking it global. That's what's next. And the only other thing I would say, and this is so important as an entrepreneur, is balancing that global aspiration for SweetRiot with my better half and love and family and friends and health and just keeping it all in check every day.